The man who learned to stand. There was once an average man named Elior who took up as little space as possible in the world. He walked with his shoulders bent, as though apologizing to the air for existing. When spoken to, he nodded quickly. When corrected, he thanked the one who corrected him, even when he had done nothing wrong. His voice was soft, not from kindness, but from fear of being noticed. Elior believed strength was something other men were born with, like height or a commanding voice. He believed leadership was reserved for those who never doubted themselves. And because he doubted himself constantly, he placed his worth in the hands of others and waited for permission to live. One autumn, the kingdom was threatened by forces beyond its borders. The call went out for men to serve. Elior nearly stayed home. He told himself he would only slow others down. But something quieter than fear spoke within him, not courage yet, just weariness. He was tired of shrinking. He enlisted not to become brave, but to stop feeling ashamed. At first, the army confirmed everything he feared. The drills were unforgiving. Commands were barked, not explained. When Elior hesitated, he was corrected sharply. When he apologized out of habit, he was told, "Save your breath for marching." No one was cruel to him, but no one made room for his insecurity either. And so something unexpected happened. No one rescued him from himself. Each day, Elior was required to complete his task regardless of how he felt. The sword did not care about his doubt. The formation did not adjust for his fear. Either he showed up ready or he failed his unit. Slowly, painfully, he learned that feelings were weather, not commands. The body could obey even when the mind trembled. One night, exhausted and bruised, Elior realized something profound. He had survived the day without apologizing for being alive. From that moment on, he began to sharpen himself, not with anger, but with precision. He learned the weight of responsibility. He learned that discipline was not punishment. It was structure strong enough to hold chaos. He stopped explaining himself. He stopped asking permission for excellence. Years passed, battles were fought, losses were endured. Elior did not become loud nor boastful, but he became immovable. When orders were given, he executed them cleanly. When enemies advanced, he did not flinch. His blade was decisive, his strategy unromantic and effective. Yet what set him apart was not his sharpness, it was his integrity. Elior never asked his soldiers to endure what he would not endure himself. He rose before them and slept after them. He inspected their boots, their rations, their morale, not as a tyrant, but as a steward. When a soldier faltered, Elior corrected him firmly, without humiliation. When one was wounded in spirit, Elior listened without softness that excused weakness, and without hardness that crushed hope. He understood something many leaders never learn. A man can be rigid in standards and generous in spirit at the same time. In battle, General Elior was feared by his enemies. He did not rage. He did not gloat. He advanced with clarity and withdrew with purpose. He treated conflict as a responsibility, not an outlet for ego. His decisions were clean. His word was law because his word was reliable. Among his troops, he was trusted. They followed him not because he demanded loyalty, but because he earned it daily. They knew he would not waste their lives for pride. They knew he would not retreat from necessary action out of fear. They knew that when Elior spoke, the path forward, however difficult, would be honest. One evening, a young recruit approached him and said, "Sir, how did you become so certain?" Elior paused. He looked at the campfires, at the men he was responsible for, at the kingdom that slept behind them. "I am not certain," he said. "I am committed." The recruit did not understand at first, but Elior did. Confidence had not come from believing in himself. It had come from keeping promises to himself. Self-worth had not been discovered. It had been built brick by brick through disciplined action, honorable restraint, and the refusal to abandon his post when fear returned. Elior never forgot the man he once was. The apologetic shadow still lived somewhere within him, but it no longer held the reins. It had been replaced by something stronger than bravado and quieter than pride. A man who stands, and because he stood, others rose with him.